Every real cowboy like myself knows how lonely it is out on the open range, which is why I listen to the Cowboy Boys podcast. With best contractually obligated friends, Shayne Smith and Mac Arthur, the Cowboy Boys will comfort your soul better than any disease-ridden saloon gal ever could. Cowboy Boys.
Yeah, my question was, do you think Native Americans get abducted by aliens more or less than the white man?
Why do we?
Do you think aliens abduct everyone equally?
It doesn't seem that way.
Yeah.
I feel like
It seems to just be white people.
it's an American thing, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe I feel like Russians get abducted by
No, Russians
aliens.
get abducted. But
White people.
I was gonna say that doesn't help. So
That's where the Caucasus Mountains are.
why? Wait, why are aliens racist? What's going on there? What do we have that other people don't have?
Well, I think one of the biggest UFO things ever wasn't that in Africa? There was that village. It was like a school, or it was like an orphanage or something.
I think I do know what you're talking
Where
about.
it was just like, it's one of the weird ones over there. Oh,
Nice. We have a package.
hold on, pause it. Sorry, the the spooks were trying to suppress the information.
That's right.
The UFOs.
But you mean the FBI, right? In context to the conversation, what you said was.
Oh,
Yeah.
You don't want it out
of.
You don't want it out of context. The spooks are suppressing the conversation.
Yeah. You absolutely make sure the CIA is.
I don't think anyone says spooks after the 1950. Anyone born after that? So.
Yeah, that's true. That's like Spade. It's like, who says that anymore?
Guys, I lived in Bensonhurst for a long time. Lots of people still say both of those words.
Oh, okay. My bad.
So, as we were saying, what was it? Oh, yeah. We have a guest here. We should say that first.
Yeah. Chris, introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Chris. Listen to my podcast. It's called Notes of a Goon. There you go.
Hell yeah.
Shayne's
dude.
been on my other podcast, High Society Radio, a couple times. He was talking about ghost hunting last time.
Dude, I love it. Love
Yeah.
it. Very good podcast.
Yeah.
Good enough that you're here now.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I impressed you.
Yeah, Notes of a Goon. What's that one about?
That's really a lot of me just yelling nonsense. But I do. It's like a little more. Like I did a whole series of things. If you go listen to the first episode, you'll learn why I didn't wear shorts for 25 years because my dad called me gay when I was 13.
Your dad called you gay for wearing shorts?
His exact words were, "You wearing shorts, huh?" And then he goes, "Let me ask you a question. Are you a child?" And I was like, "It seems like a test, so I'm gonna say no." And he was like, "Are you a fag?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "The fuck you wearing shorts for?" And I didn't wear shorts for 20 years.
No.
Damn.
Oh, dude, so you missed out on Jinkos.
Oh yeah. I had one. I've actually just told this story a few times, but I had one big pair of Jinkos. Just because when lobster tails would go on sale at the supermarket by my house, they would leave them out, and I would steal 12 lobster tails I could fit in this pair of Jinkos that somebody left in my house.
Oh, hell yeah,
I never
dude.
thought about that.
You have a
Jinkos?
lobster tail pants.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, Jinkos really were good for theft. That was a renaissance.
Yeah.
And then also back then it was cool to wear army pants.
Oh,
So you'd
yeah,
wear
yeah,
the
yeah.
big cargo pants, dude, and my thigh pockets would just be full of shit all the time, man.
Dude, I got patted down by cops once, and I had 3 jars of weed, and they went to the bottom of the cargo pocket and then lifted their hand up and patted right over the. I was like, "Are you guys?" I couldn't tell if they were fucking with me or not, and they were gonna let me walk,
Yeah.
and then just be like, "Whoop whoop, we were just kidding, dude. You totally have drugs on you."
They're like, well, he's white. Do you want to do
Oh.
the paperwork? Nah. Let's skip it.
Dude, the cops are pretty cool about that stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
I remember once this is probably a white people thing, but my brother got caught and he had meth on him.
Jesus.
And the cop was just like, just throw it off the bridge. and my brother was like, fucking all right. And he throws his
The crazy thing is, the cop stopped your brother. He had meth on him, and he didn't immediately throw it off of a bridge.
Dude, I know. My brother was like, no, I'm going to let it ride. Maybe I can keep the meth. And so my brother threw the meth off the bridge, and the cop was like, all right, guys, don't let me catch you out here again doing whatever you're. Because he literally just stopped us to pat us down because we looked like we had meth, right? Which good on him.
Yeah, that's right.
Correct.
Very fair.
Actually
If
correct.
meth was still in fashion, that'd probably still be happening to you, Shayne.
yeah. And so, anyways, I've heard about stuff like that happening. They're just like, smash the crack pipe. I don't want to do the paperwork. They just let you go. But
I had a funny one. I was drunk and I was gonna like take a piss. I had been on the train for like an hour and a half, and it was just cold out. And the cops they cut the corner. I guess I don't know if they thought I was gonna go do drugs. It was like this like short street, and I like moved. And they're like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Look, I'm just gonna level with you. I was about to take a piss, and so you guys cut the corner hard. So I just put my dick away." And they were like, "All right." And they were like, "All right." And they were like, and the cop looks at me and goes, "Flowers or chocolates?" And I go, "What?" He goes, "Fat boy here is going to a housewarming party for a girl he's got a crush on." Talking about his partner.
damn.
They had you settle an argument.
Yeah.
Dude.
I told him to get scented candles because it's not too forward.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I would have gone flowers.
I think flowers are pretty. That's a wide range. It could be anything like, "Oh, I'm your
Yeah, you
friend,"
do- if
or "Let's fuck tonight." Like,
Yeah.
You can't do a bouquet if
No.
it's for
No,
something
no,
like that
no.
where you're like you're not sure if you're friend zoned yet. You got to do like an arrangement.
In a ring, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Or here's what you do: you could do a couple daisies, tulips, something like where you're like, "What the fuck does this flower mean?"
Yeah.
Really keep him guessing. Does he want to fuck you? or
Tulips?
what?
Is he just into Bitcoin?
Like those flowers could be anything. It could be "I love you." It could be like "I do anal." It could be like "I just want to be your friend."
Which is weird because tulips should be more of a sexual flower,
they should be.
right?
why is that?
Tulips
I can't picture.
kind of look like a pussy.
Yeah.
Do
and
they?
It's got
Yeah.
or it looks kind of like an Italian fisting hand.
Yeah, yeah,
A little bit.
Either one.
I may be imagining the wrong flower. Full disclosure.
If you can name any flower, I don't even think I know what a rose looks like in my mind. Like, I'm so out of the flower game.
I worked in a flower shop
Okay.
right after my dad called me gay for wearing shorts for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so funny. How it's just neighborhood shop?
Yeah, it was the guy went to high school with my mom. That's how I ended up with the job. And then it was really funny because it was like I got $3. I was like, my family was like the poorest of like my cousins,
Yeah.
and it was under minimum wage. I was like kind of embarrassed to tell my cousin, but then they just got him things. He didn't have like an allowance. He was like, "You make how much money?" It was like $3 an hour plus like really bad tips that you get for delivering flowers.
Dude, I remember when I was a kid, we used to like help dispose of the animal carcasses. So they would in our town we had something called the meat pits, which because
What?
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. It's
Did
not
you
though.
grow up in Mad Max? Like,
No.
what is it?
So
The
it's-
meat pits?
Yeah.
Because we're from the same place.
Yeah, so
but I've never heard of the meat pits.
When you live in like a farming community, when your horse or your fucking cow and shit dies, you don't buy a fucking horse-shaped coffin and play the bagpipes. You just fucking you call a guy and then he sends over a child on a four-wheeler, and that child and his friend use a rope, pull the horse carcass onto the trailer of the four-wheeler, and then they take it and kick the horse's carcass into the meat pits. And then the meat pits are just a giant pit full of discarded dead animals. And then at the end of the year, a tractor comes and pushes dirt on top of it, and they dig a new pit next to it.
And at the end of they just have an open pit of rotting meat for a year.
Yeah, straight up. And it's disgusting.
Do they, like-
we used to have to jump into it for Boy Scouts as a
What?
rite of passage.
For hazing each other?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We threw a kid in there once and he puked.
my
It was really
God.
funny. So anyway, it's probably so dangerous. It's so dangerous.
Doesn't
to
it
get in-
sound like how Ebola happened?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So when I was a kid, I used to go collect animal carcasses for the meat pits. I also made like $3 an hour, and then looking back, I'm like, that was a hard job. What the fuck?
So flowers
Yeah.
is better?
Yeah, flowers was all right. It was also pretty great because anytime I would get grounded, I would come in and tell my boss I was grounded, and then on my day off, he would send the other delivery guy to deliver flowers to my grandmother, and she would be a little softer on the punishment.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's some mafia shit
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
awesome.
Yeah, that rules.
What kind of... So do you use flowers for like everything growing up, or like what?
No, just I mean like
You'd always have them on hand, right?
Yeah.
Would you be like, I'm coming to do a podcast. Why don't you have flowers?
Yeah,
here?
what the fuck?
I haven't worked there.
No, but I mean, it stays in. You have the
Yeah,
habit,
yeah.
right? I'm
That
trying to
w-
think.
That would be the best if you just show up to your friend's podcast with flowers.
Because I never thought. Yeah.
They'd never forget.
That was fucking weird, dude.
Is he trying to? Does he want to do anal? Like,
Is he trying to give us a format?
Chris brought us tulips. I think one of us has to fuck him.
Yeah, that is the rule now.
Dude, definitely. Dude, so you worked at the flower shop. That reminds me of the florist from the town.
Never saw it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's like a mobster. That's like a mobster's trope. The mobsters own like a floral thing as like a
There's
front.
also one in Boardwalk Empire. Isn't there a florist
Yeah,
character also in that? But that was like a real guy.
Yeah, it happened. I was going to say that's why it's a thing. There was a dude, the florist, and he like owned all these flower shops, and he was way into it. Like he actually worked there and like was proud of the actual business of flowers. But then on the weekends, he was like torturing and killing people for money. So they were like, yeah, it's no good.
This is like a weird sociopathy, right? Like you just like you love plants because they can't talk back.
Yeah, yeah. Something's going on there. But I bet he was a cutie pie. I bet if he did our podcast, he'd have brought us flowers.
Yeah, it's true. I'm sorry.
I'm thinking flower shop seems like restaurant where it doesn't seem like it would make any money.
Yeah.
So it has to be a front for everything.
Dude, yeah, that place did not make a lot of money. The place I worked, like that's why I was making $3. That's why his only employee was a 12-year-old boy.
So you did deliveries?
Yeah, dude. Here's the thing that's like the worst is like you do deliveries and like whatever. I'm just gonna throw this out there. Everybody that's ever worked in the service industry knows women are worse tippers than men. You're only delivering to women.
Yeah.
In general. And they just assume that they don't have to tip you because somebody else tipped you already.
You know what? I'm going to make that assumption as well. If I'm getting flowers, I'd be like, oh, it's all about me right now. I'm not like,
Yeah, but like it's not like some guy opened a van and gave you flowers that said like 1-800. It was a 12-year-old boy. It was me as a 12-year-old boy being like, here you go, miss. And there was one lady I used to bring flowers to every week. And she would give me 50 cents every time. She was an old lady. She was sweet, and I like actually loved going over there. And then one time she gave me 50 cents in all nickels, and I got home, and they were buffalo head nickels.
Whoa!
And they were all worth like $50. I was like, this is a fucking score.
Dude, that rules.
Yeah. But then my uncle stole that and used it to buy cheap booze.
Oh,
Yeah, Thunderbird.
dude, alcoholism is the worst because when they steal your money and they just buy something easily accessible, you're like, skip
steal
one step and
booze.
steal the booze.
Yeah, you couldn't just steal a couple of beers.
I get why people don't steal meth because if you steal meth, the
You
people who
get
sell it
killed.
to you will kill you. Yeah, but like when you steal booze, what's like, Kyle at the Quickie Mart gonna do?
Yeah, you can't shoplift meth. Like,
Yeah.
it's just impossible. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
In Portland, maybe.
yeah,
and most alcohol stores have insurance.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Dude, have you ever seen the ones where the display case has a wire on it and the dude goes to grab and run the display case of alcohol?
What?
Yeah, have you seen that?
No.
Google it after this podcast, everyone.
Is it a video?
So it's safety wires at alcohol shops or whatever. What's it called? The liquor store. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I don't drink. Straight edge, everybody. So they grab the liquor and then
No,
they
I
go
like
to
how
run.
it's just a synonym for what you said.
Yeah.
I know, I'm so fucking stupid. But they grab it and then they go to run and they get out the door and then the wire pulls and they just fucking yank back and die.
Is this not like a prank show you
It's
were
not
watching?
a prank show. It's
So
real, dude. It's amazing.
Dude, I used to go. There used to be a massive. They probably still do it. But there used to be a massive alcohol trade show at the Javits Center, and I would just go on the second day,
Yeah.
and nobody wants to carry the booze. Like all the salesmen don't care, so I would just steal so many bottles. I would have liquor for the whole summer. Like
Just wearing your Jinkos full of liquor bottles.
no, you get like a swag bag, and then I would just I would get a couple of them and just fill them with bottles. Dude, I just grabbed. There was like they were like showing those things that they put in the middle of a table that's like long and like a tap in like shitty sports bars in the Midwest. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So they had that. So they just had like a case of Pabst. And I was like, I bet I grab that case of Pabst and this guy won't even notice. And I grab it and put it over my shoulder and start walking. And he goes, hey, that beer? And I turn around and he goes, it's for you, my man. I don't want to drink it in the car anyway. Like,
Hell yeah, dude.
Why'd you go on the second day? Is that because
that was the last day. Like, it was 2
okay.
days. And it's like you go on the second day because those guys, they're like, you at the end of the day, like, you could just be like, can I have a bottle? And like some guys would be like, yeah, sure, here you go. I don't want to carry this shit to the car.
Okay,
Like,
I was gonna say, are they like more hungover and just like over it on day
Yeah.
2, or they're like, fuck, I did not plan for a second day. I
Dude, that
partied too hard.
That applies to all conventions. I know people who go to tattoo conventions and get tattooed on the last day, and you're like, incorrect.
oh, yeah.
You've made a horrible mistake. Like, they've been tattooing for 12 hours a day for 3 days, and you're going on the last day.
So
Think about it. There's somebody that's getting the last private at Exotica every time from their favorite porn star.
Oh, no.
So you got to
Smells like the meat pits.
So that's the thing. You got to think of what if you're going to steal, go on the last day. If you want a lap dance, you go immediately first in line. Show up early. Damn, I don't know about Comic-Con. Where do you?
Comic-Con, I mean, it's all bad.
That feels like a stealing kind of situation.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, I don't want to say I've stolen a lot from Comic-Con, but I'll let people think about what I may have done.
Let me ask you a question. Did you used to like Comic-Con? So it was weird. Comic-Con went from this thing that I couldn't get anybody to go with me, and I went by myself twice because everybody was like, "You're a dork. I'm not going with you."
I
To
still
now,
agree
like
with that.
people that I'm like, "You're a tool bag. I'm not going with you to Comic-Con." Like it's like,
Yeah, it's a big thing now.
Yeah.
So
and it's less fun.
it is way less fun. I will agree that. It's like you don't want to be like the gatekeeper, like, oh, it was cool first and then you made it lame. But it is real that now it's like you show up and they're
It's just
catering to those new people.
They're catering to the cosplay set, which is just whatever, man. I'll just go to the Halloween party in the village and get loaded if I want to see that. Like I don't. I like would go to Comic-Con because it would just be. First of all, I want to buy art, and then like I want to like go to panels. Like I like literally like I went with my buddy, and he's like, "Yo, there's chicks over there," and I'm like Neil Adams is over there. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't care about this shit. You could do that anywhere. I just want to I want to do all the nerd shit. That's why we paid $50.
Dude, you know what the last bastion of for real legit OG conventions is?
FurryCon.
No, because even FurryCon has a lot of tourists now. I mean, I want to go to FurryCon just
I
to
would
look.
check it out.
Exactly. The last OG like for real for fans convention is the AVNs, dude. We went to the AVNs and it is for real dudes. It's not what you think it is. It's not like
that's the awards, right?
Yeah, that's the awards show, but it's also a convention with
I've
the
been
porn
to
stars.
Exotica in Jersey, which is the same. It's like the same thing.
So it's like, dude, it's not what you think. Like creepy dudes being like, beating off. It's
They are
dudes-
there.
They are there, but there's more. It's mostly dudes who are like, I love your work in Ass Blasters 9. The scene you did with Mark Strong, oh my god! And like they're like actual porn nerds, dude. It's wild.
There are some guys, right? Like I saw a guy with a wagon at Exotica just to get stuff signed.
Yeah,
like he had stuff in a wagon and was going around getting it. It was I was like, what the? And then just for some reason, like a lot of black dudes with wrestling belts.
Yep.
I was like, what is?
They're the champ.
It's first of all, as a wrestling fan, I think that's a fucking shitty thing to do at a wrestling show. You know what I mean? Like if you're wearing the WWF championship at the porn convention,
dude, you let them know. I'm fucking mean business.
Well, I don't know if you're the fuck champ. Like I would wear it proudly.
when I went to Mardi Gras when I was like 21, this guy was just walking around with a belt, and I didn't recognize it. He was just a big black dude, and I go, "What is that belt for?" And he goes, I fucked the most hoes in 04. It must have been 05. he goes, I fucked the most hoes in 04. I was like, what? And this girl walks over to him, and she's like, why are you talking to this motherfucker? And he's like, he asked what the belt's about. She goes, oh, he fucked the most hoes in 04.
Damn, dude.
And I was like, how many? He was like 50. And I was like, what? I was like, you were coming and stuff? He was like, dude, I was coming on him, pissing on him, everything. Like, I was like, in a row? He's like, yeah. Like, I was like,
whoa, dude.
Dude, this was not an attractive dude. Like, you know what I mean? This is a fat guy with like small braids. You know that like a hood ass New Orleans dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know exactly who I'm talking about.
I see him in my mind. I've been to New Orleans, unfortunately, a few times.
Yeah.
I feel like 50 is not the most hoes in 04.
In a row?
Oh, in a row?
Yeah.
I think it's a little higher. 50?
I don't know. I feel like this is you being like, I could fuck more than 50.
One,
hoes.
I could, but two,
No.
First of all, maybe it was just a regional title. I don't know.
Yeah, listen, he didn't have the unified belt. He had the regional title. If you want to unify the belts, you've got to go against some heavy hitters out in L.A.
Because what was it? Last episode we were talking about that girl that fucked 400 guys.
Yeah.
Oh, Houston?
And she did not break the record.
Yeah, she tried to get the record, and she got dumped in like 300 something times. And at the end, the dude is like, "You didn't do it," and we were just like, "Wow, what a fucking heartbreaker!"
Dude, that's
so
funny.
I feel like as a guy, I don't know what constitute like if you just stick your dick in once, you're like, I fucked her. I didn't come, but
He said
they
he was
have to
coming
come.
on him and pissing on him.
Coming and pissing.
pissing. You could piss on a lot of girls in a row. Just
Yeah, you can piss at you can piss on 5 girls at a time.
that counts. Give me the belt. I'll piss on a bunch
Like-
of girls.
W's a W. It's like a
Yeah.
weird stipulation. Like it's like a casket match. It's kind of a dusty finish.
Dude, that's a Hell in a Cell situation. Just off the ladder, peeing on
Because you got the height, so you could definitely hit more people.
yeah, dude.
Damn, I feel like I'm gonna break that record.
Yeah?
Yeah.
you're gonna go from Volcel, almost 2 years of no sex, to fully most hoes in 2020.
No, 2024.
You gotta train.
I have been training. That's why I've been a Buddhist monk. I've been holding it all back for 2 years, and I'm gonna unleash.
Dude, I know. I didn't come for like 2 weeks, and when I came, I was like, "This is yeah, dude. I don't even know what is gonna happen."
Yeah, I was away with some friends for like a week, and then like they were like, "We should go get rub and tugs." I was like, "I couldn't do that to that poor lady." Like, you know what I mean?
You're too backed up.
Just so much is gonna come out of me. Like,
That is a dilemma. You don't want too little because then you'll be embarrassed.
Yeah.
But too much, and you're like, okay, I'm sorry. Like,
Dude, I had a friend who tried to get a rub and tug because I told him it was fine. He was like, this is recently. He was like, I'm trying to get a thing. And I was like, if it's open, you'll wear your mask. It'll be fine. And he's like, this is a very sexually repressed individual from Utah. Just for so you have you can see what's going on here. And he's like, aren't they like sex trafficked? And I'm like, no, there's a grown ass woman who works at a fucking
yeah, well, even if they are sex trafficked, that's still better than having to do nails.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, man.
I think better than pedicure, but not better than nails.
But they're not. Like most of those women, like they interview them. Like I read a news article where they like tried to like do the what is going on with all the Asian massage places and the jacking off, and then it turned out most of those girls were just like, yeah, I just fucking live here. I have citizenship. I work. I just beat people off because I'm a sex worker. I make a lot of money. What do you want from me?
Is that the pamphlet the guy with the trench coat in the alley gave you? It's like, no, it's cool. She likes it.
So anyway, these are like grown women. So he goes and he was like, he gets a regular massage and he tells me, he goes, yeah, it does seem chill. They were like all normal. Nothing was sketchy was going on. She was nice. She was like in her 40s. And I was like, yeah, that's a rub and tug. Go ahead and
just not wear your underwear.
Yeah,
in the room,
yeah. I was
and
like,
then
if you
they'll
just
tug
get naked, then they'll like tap you and ask you if you want to be jerked off, and you give them like $40 or whatever extra. And he's like, all right. And he went and he did it. And then he calls me and he goes, hey, fuck face. And I was like, what's up? And he goes, tried to get my rub and tug, couldn't get hard. And she was very embarrassed for me. And he was so mad at me for you put me in that situation. And I was like, dude, how could I have known?
Did she give him his money back?
Yeah, no.
What?
Dude, if she jerks your dick, you owe her. It doesn't matter. That's on you.
Have you never heard of Blue Chew, sir?
We're not sponsored by them.
Download a podcast app, guy.
Dude, I know. I felt so bad. He was like, it was mortifying, and the more I couldn't get hard, the more awkward it was. And then she asked me if I was tired.
Oh man, do you have a headache? Can I like make you some tea? Like she starts becoming.
I was like, best case scenario for her. If you're a sex worker, you're like, well, it's kind of like when someone schedules an appointment with you when you have a job where you do that, and then they don't show up, and you're like, hell yeah, I'm gonna do nothing for an hour and get paid.
Yeah.
That's what that was. She just sent him on his way, but he was real embarrassed.
Damn,
he listens to the podcast too. I'm so excited for
Say
him
his
to be
full
like,
name.
You, you motherfucker! You put me in that situation. He was so mad.
That's like a normal thing though, where I think the guys will get prostitutes and then just cry and talk to them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but not like in what a rub and tug is like a McDonald's of sex work. You know what I mean? Like it's a volume based business. Like,
yeah, like that. I'm imagining most of those women are like, they're just like, yeah, you pay for half an hour massage. I ask you for a hand job 5 minutes in. You come in 2 minutes. I make all that money. Very easy work comparatively.
There was a place I went to once that was like, I got a rub and tug, and then I went to get up, and the girl goes, "No, you have 10 minutes left in your massage," and she washed her hands. And that's the way to do it.
Damn,
if it ends with good, and it was one of the best. Like that's better than most of the legit massages I've got.
No way.
Yeah, like
Hell
all but
yeah.
one. That's better than all but one legit massage.
Dude, if we legalize sex work, that's the future. So I'm just saying, write your congressman if you want a good massage and a hand job.
Yeah.
Why would your congressman legalize it? He's getting it, and they're above the law.
Dude,
Like, he's not going to legalize it for the normies,
It's so
for the
real.
rest of us.
It's a weird thing that they won't legalize sex work. It's just like I thought we were capitalisming over here, guys. Come on, what are we doing?
No, for real. It's so true. It's
Like-
like, what do we you want to get paid or not?
Yeah. What are we doing here? Like,
They accidentally legalized prostitution in Maine.
What do you mean accidentally?
So literally-
I think I know the story.
It
Yeah, I
was
don't
like
remember.
on the someone put it on the ballot or whatever. Like a libertarian. I'm not even kidding. I think a libertarian threw it up.
Hell yeah.
One libertarian got elected to city office, and so he had the right to put it on the ballot, and he threw it on there, and it accidentally got passed. And
What do you mean accidentally?
Well, I mean, they just put it on, and they didn't expect it to happen, and
you
then
didn't
it
expect
just
democracy to work the way it was
Dude.
intended?
and it did work as intended, and prostitution was legal in Maine for 6 years, and violent crime and rape and sex crime and all this stuff went down exponentially, but of course they made it illegal again.
Yeah.
But for that 6 years it was
Wait a second,
legal.
how the hell does that happen where it's just is legal and then there's clear good outcomes and they're just we better make this illegal?
Dude, it's the same thing with weed. Colorado was is hey, we're one of the richest states per capita by population now that we legalize weed. Crime has gone down exponentially. The state is doing great. It's been nothing but good for us. Mental health, hospital visits are down. All this crazy shit has happened, and all the other states are couldn't be us. What?
Yeah,
the
it's
fuck
true.
are you talking about?
You know what's a crazy thing? My cousin works for the city of Denver. She's a government worker in Denver.
Yeah.
And I was just smoking weed at her wedding, and I was like, "Hey, you want some of this?" And she was like, "I can't. I'll get fired."
Because she's a
No
government worker.
way.
Yeah, they'll still pop you for fucking.
Is it because it's a federal job?
It's not a federal job. She works for the city.
That's fucking wild. I
Yeah.
guess they reserve the right to do shit like that.
It's probably a union contract thing too. I bet when that's up. It's also, you know what they do, and this is a fucked up thing. This happened to my buddy who worked at the airport. He got drug tested to get the job there, but he hurt his knee at work,
Yeah.
and the insurance company didn't want to pay for it, so they drug tested him, and he got popped for weed. And I was like, "Were you high at work?" He was like, "No, I never get high at work. I get high when I get home from work, like everybody else."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, "I have an adult job," and they just didn't want to pay for his knee surgery.
Dude, dude, that shit
Yeah.
makes me insane.
That shit is infuriating.
No, that's every insurance company scam. They look for any reason to not pay out.
Yeah.
And
Dude.
it's the whole thing.
straight up evil.
I wonder if the weed thing was kind of it's. I already forgot what I was gonna say. I should smoke more weed.
I was like, damn, Mac.
Where was I going? with that?
Something about weed. Anyway, I'm fucked up.
We never got to the bottom of the racist alien thing.
It's true. We didn't.
We
It's
went to
just
get that package, and it was over.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. That's,
Are they? That's really the question. Is what are aliens up to?
Yeah.
oh yeah. So we were talking about there's that African village with the orphanage, right?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
So I saw some YouTube documentary which lays it all out, and there's
And they were super Christian too, so
Yeah.
it's weird that they would be these were aliens.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Huh.
Instead of these were angels.
Yeah, and so it's just they have an eyewitness of 30 kids and the teacher and stuff, and they're like, "Oh yeah, aliens landed and came and walked up to us, and then they pieced out," and it's what? And the argument is, how do you get 30 children to all agree on the same story?
Yeah.
And then no one ever talks about it, or you don't hear anything about it ever. But
Well, there's a
Maybe.
bunch of crazy mass sightings, right? What's the one in Germany that there's a painting about it? But it was in the it was the 1800s.
oh yeah,
And it's everybody in this town, might have been Dusseldorf, Germany, and it's just witnessed a battle of
sky battle.
a sky battle,
What?
and there's a painting about it, and it's this entire town went out of their houses and witnessed this sky battle, and there's it's written in history. It's
there's tapestries
yeah,
showing
thousands of people,
UFOs fighting,
and it's
each
just
other.
what could that have been other than that? I mean, it's not a mass hallucination. It's
yeah, that's fucking wild.
Yeah, it's
they
fucking
saw
crazy.
a sky battle.
yeah, they saw fucking X-wings and shit. I don't know.
Just like blowing up each other.
You know what it probably was? It was probably you know how they say Egyptians were a lot more technologically advanced than they were. It's probably like America and China going to war now and us nuking each other to oblivion. And the only people that survive is like some tribe in the middle of Brazil, the rainforest.
Oh, and then that's how society comes.
And then they're like, "Hey, remember when that thing happened? Yeah. Oh well,
that's what
we'll
happened.
never know."
That literally did happen to Egypt. So Cleopatra, the most famous Egyptian of all time,
not Ramses.
She is closer to us than she is to when the pyramids got built.
Yeah.
So when Egypt was at the height of its technology, it was the greatest civilization known to humankind ever. This crazy thing happened, and these people that no one knows who they were, they just call them the Sea People. They showed up. They fucking destroyed Africa and Mesopotamia so thoroughly that Egyptians forgot how to read, how to build things, how to farm. They killed an entire different civilization called the River Civilization that was like Egypt's rival. They killed everybody. So fucking hard that Cleopatra's people didn't know how to read some of the hieroglyphics. Like, they were a mystery to them the way they are to us now. So the Egyptians, as we imagine them with the Romans, were living in the post-apocalyptic ruins of their society that was destroyed by fucking, I don't know.
Dude, that happened in Mexico, too. Like, some of, like, people, like, just populated those pyramid cities.
Yeah.
They just, like, found them and were like, I guess the gods left this for us.
Yeah,
and then, like, that would just happen.
It's fucking
back in the
wild,
day.
right?
Like, like without cell phones, like, people are just fucked. Like,
Dude, so it seems like we got to like late Bronze Age and everyone was doing super great, and then we got set all the way back to the beginning of the Bronze Age again. You have to restart your save, and then we just made it to here, and it's like, what the fuck? Who were those people killing everybody?
Yeah.
And everyone's kind of just like, I don't know, we think they might have just been like Germans. And it's like, they can't always be the bad guy.
Think about it. Yeah, like, think about it this way. It's like Baghdad is Agrabah from fucking Aladdin. That's the same city.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be right. Like, and then Genghis Khan just fucked that shit up so bad that it has never been good again.
No,
like, you know what I mean?
Still to this day.
Like, wasn't it like all of the knowledge of the world, like they had like the most comprehensive libraries and all this shit, and like just like one dude with his sons were just like, yeah, we're gonna rape all of you and burn these things. So,
yeah,
like,
and horses and arrows just came through town and shot everyone.
Yeah, I raise you all the technology in the world, and I will match it with angry dudes on horses, and you're fucked. And that's really what happened, dude. They destroyed Baghdad so badly that there are still irrigation problems in Baghdad right now from when Genghis Khan destroyed it. They stacked the skulls of the people of Baghdad so high that you could see the pile of skulls glowing.
Why was it
because
glowing?
there was like bacteria that was growing
shit.
inside the skulls and like the rotted carcasses. And like
Dude,
it was
the
glowing.
Coolest fucking fact I've ever learned.
So, just like a 70,000 person pile of skulls.
Seems pretty metal.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking tight, dude. It was really cool.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's like a '70s cartoon. Like,
yeah, it's fucking crazy. And you know what's even crazier? You know the people who like stopped the Mongols was like Hungarians. The
There you
Mongols
go.
got to Hungary, and the Hungarians were like, "You haven't seen Slavs yet, motherfucker." Like, find out, and then they fucking won. That's even crazier to me. It's just like you beat everybody, but you lost to Hungary.
yeah, of all places.
No, they're hardy people.
Yeah. Oh, and then France. They showed up to France, and people in Flanders and stuff were like, "Not today, motherfucker!" And like, that was it. That was the end of them. They got that far to Europe and they gave up.
Did they stretch too thin, or like what happened?
No,
Just
no.
The French were
One of the largest Mongol armies ever showed up to Europe, and then they just got fucking worked. Like it just, yeah. One of the Khans, Obadiah, Genghis Khan's son, sent his favorite general to like Hungary, and that guy ended up getting like trapped by the king of Hungary. And he like charged into battle, and then the Hungarians killed them all.
And to this day, Asian people still don't use paprika.
It's wild. It's wild.
It dates back to that.
Dude, the Mongols fucking wrecked house. They were wild.
I was thinking about the alien thing.
Yeah.
How everyone's like, what happened to these people? if you were a civilization that just wiped out another civilization, and then everyone's like, "Hey, what happened to those people?" And they're like, aliens. And that's why probably Hitler was just like researching the occult and stuff. And he was like, "What? Jews never existed. It must have been aliens." And they're like, "No, that worked like 100 years ago. But we have technology now to like, we have newspapers. Like, we know what you were doing." He's like, "Oh shit!" Like, it was so easy back in the day to just lie and blame aliens for everything when you could just wipe out everyone else and be like, "Oh,
true.
Something
The gods did it."
Yeah.
That isn't a volcano happened. What happened? Hey, what happened to this village? Volcanoes, man. It's fucking crazy. You are literally covered in blood. Unrelated. Unrelated to the village being destroyed.
Just got to go off their word.
Dude, fucking medieval times were wild.
Just making shit up.
Dude, I was reading about the Flanders in France. So it was like a separate kingdom of merchants, and then all of France was like a big empire, and they're like, "You have to be a part of France." And then those guys were
What
like,
year is this?
This is like, I want to say the year 1400.
All right.
And so like we're talking about like knights, the way we imagine them in like big armor, fucking shit up, unstoppable killing machines, brutal dudes. So Flanders is like, "Fuck you," and then France is like, "We have all of the war shit. You guys are like, you sew things. We're gonna come kill you. You're rich, but you have nothing else." So then they took it over, and then they put like all these French knights in charge, and they don't know how to run a business, and so they fucking capitalismed out, and we're like, "Fuck you, peasants. No equal rights for any of you." And the peasants got mad and killed them in their sleep. And then they were like, "It's on. We're going to fight this huge war." So then the peasants were like, "Fuck, we don't know how to fight." So they hired like 100 German dudes with double-handed swords called Zweelanders. And so these German dudes show up, and they're like, "Aren't you afraid of dying? And are you going to fight all of France, like 100 of you?" And the German dudes are like, "Well, fucking whatever." And so,
well, Zweelanders are like 6 foot long, 7 foot long swords.
Yeah, those big wavy swords, the big two-handed wavy boys. Ooh. And so the Germans are like, "We'll teach the peasants how to kill." And so the peasants all have these sticks that are like have a big mace on the end with one point. It's a terrible weapon.
Yeah.
But how long was it?
It's not long, dude. Like maybe 5 feet. It's like a sword. It's like a really bad sword, like the worst sword you can imagine, but it's wood, and it's like a club with a pointy part. It's literally
pretty dumb.
So bad.
It's a nail with a board in it, like from The Simpsons.
Literally, it's a nail with a board.
It's better than nothing.
So these dudes are like, "Fuck you, you can't take our money. You gotta let us have like days off. Go fuck yourselves, France." France shows up to fight these guys, and they make their little area where they're gonna have the battle, and the French just start absolutely kicking their ass. And so the people of Flanders have the Germans in reserve. So the Germans are kind of just like watching all this go down, being like, "All right, you guys are getting your asses kicked." So the French knights are like, "Hey, pull back those soldiers and let us have all the glory." So the French are like, "All right, yeah, good idea. So they pull back all the regular soldiers, and they send 2,000 armored knights. Now, back in the day, a knight was literally like a rich guy. Mm-hmm. Like, it would be like the equivalent of if Jeff Bezos was like, "Sometimes on the weekends, I kill people in battles." It's wild. Like, so basically all these, like, it would be like if we got mad and went on strike, and then every manager who manages Best Buy in New York or whatever, like all these rich dudes like showed up to kill us. How poor am I that I think the Best Buy is rich? It would be like if the man
literally we live near like 4 miles from Wall Street, and you're just like, so the guy who manages the Best Buy next to the stock exchange comes out, and he's real rich.
What I mean,
dude, that guy, he has a Honda Civic that he's all pimped out. He's loaded.
He's got a 50-inch in his bedroom.
But really, it is the true real-to-life equivalence of if all of Congress and the Senate showed up to kill you for striking.
Yeah, they're having fun on the weekends.
Yeah. No, literally. So the French nobility, like, and they're all so important, truly like the Senate. It would be just like if AOC and all the boys showed up to kill us for striking. So they're all getting ready. They're lined up. They're going to kill these peasants with their sticks. and they charge in, but the Germans had like helped them prepare, so they had something called a skiltron, which is when you just like grab a piece of rope and you pull it up and it's surprise, motherfucker, it sticks. And
The
so
pointy sticks.
yeah, dude, sticks fuck horses up. Horses hate sticks.
I remember
Pointy
Braveheart.
sticks.
And so they fuck up all the horses and all the knights like fall into battle, and then the Germans were like, all right, everyone, we're going to get involved. And they just start murdering all these knights. And then the French
They were probably like super into it too, because they get to kill all these rich people.
yeah, they were literally going ham. And so also it turns out the pokey stick, super good against a guy who's like in armor when your buddy just rear naked chokes him and then you pokey stick his head.
Oh
Yeah, all your armor doesn't do shit for you if homeboy wearing a tunic rear naked chokes you while his buddy pokes you in the face with a stick, dude. So these knights that are wearing like $1 million worth of war gear are getting killed by homies with sticks that are like work as butchers and shit. It's literally like, so they kill all the knights, and then the French were like, oh fuck. Like the mayor of all our towns got murdered by guys with sticks, and it just like fuck France up for like 5 years, and it was the wildest. I was just like,
Only 5 years.
yeah, they got it back together, and they came back and were like, hey, we really will kill you now if you don't.
They got anti-stick armor or
Yeah,
what?
they got anti-stick armor, but it was just like the best story. And the Germans were just hilarious. They were just like, yeah, so we're gonna come in and kill all of you now, and then the German dudes didn't lose like a single guy. They just fucking wrecked house, and then
Because they didn't know what to do once they were off the horses.
they got off the horses, and then it just turned out that, like, you know, once you're off a horse and you're fighting man to man, and there's like 1,000 of you, it's less about skill and more about just who wants it more. And like, you know what I mean? And no one wants it more than the butcher who's just trying to like make it safe for his family so he can fucking make more than minimum wage.
Yeah.
Would you kill someone to make $50 an hour?
When I was making $3 an hour as a flower delivery boy.
No.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
like,
if someone
wait.
was like,
How many? Just one person I got to kill?
I mean, well, you're in like a battlefield.
And they deserve it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
What are
That's
you
what
talking
I'm
about?
saying. Would you kill the mayor of New Jersey to make $50 an hour if he showed up to kill you?
Absolutely.
Sight unseen, absolutely
Yeah.
yes.
He might be a good guy, but I got bills to pay.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying.
I was saying like a couple of weeks ago, like it was just like they did like the math on like the amount of money per person that it costs to like shut down New York or whatever. It was like it came out to like millions of dollars per person. I was like, I would let somebody put a bullet in my head right now if they just gave $1 million to my chick and $1 million to my little brother. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like without question. Like,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's like the meme where the guy's like, push this button and one person you've never met will die, but you'll make 10,000, and he pushes it immediately, like no questions. Like, wait, what the fuck?
somebody I never met. Who cares? That could have just happened to that guy.
Yeah, dude. I would go ham. I was ready for the Civil War. Were you?
I mean, I have a pretty sweet crossbow, so yes.
Yeah, dude. Wait, are crossbows illegal in New York?
Absolutely not.
What?
They'll ship them to you, but you're totally not allowed to have them.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, they can't prove it's a crossbow if I take it apart, right?
Yeah. I mean, just get-
I feel like you have no idea.
I
You
have
just
no idea.
agree.
I just know they're illegal. Like, and I'm just like, I panic bought because I was like, when the quarantine happened, I was like, I should probably have a gun in the house. I live on the ground floor, and then like I was like, really hard to get a gun in New York. I was like, I can get a crossbow, and I bought a crossbow that is like powerful enough to drop a buck.
There you go.
But I like am so stupid and know nothing about crossbows, and I thought they worked like in Dusk Till Dawn. like I have a bow and arrow in the house, which is way more effective against intruders than a crossbow. Like to load a hunting crossbow, you literally have to use now I know how to do it.
Yeah.
And you have to use a rope and pull back. It like is a whole process. It's like I just have a bow and arrow, which would be way more effective if I had a long range shoot a guy.
You could throw your hunting knives and
Yeah, I have throwing knives in the house. Like I'm just like a fucking mall ninja dork. Like,
dude.
I had foot surgery and I bought lock picks and throwing knives
You just multi-class
because I couldn't go out. Yeah, I just couldn't go out, and the doctor was like, you should get up once an hour and like move around. I was like, well, if I just get up and throw these knives, I have to go get them out of the Target in my fucking 1-bedroom apartment because I'm an idiot.
You were throwing knives in your apartment?
In my apartment.
Hell yeah, dude.
Dude.
Hey, it was apocalypse. We don't know what's going to happen back then. 6
True.
months ago.
Yeah. No, this was before that. This was just a random foot surgery.
Dude, when you if you ever do have an intruder and you have time, like, oh shit, I should load my crossbow, and you load it, be warned that if you shoot someone with a crossbow, you don't think it will happen, but the bolt goes through them and into something else.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. It'll go right through a man.
Why don't you just buy pointy sticks?
Dude, buy a pointy stick and get a
I wish
homie.
we had done this podcast first.
They're really effective.
Dude, a stick with just some weight on the top of it and it's pointy on top. Just fuck someone up.
No one expects a pointy stick in the middle of the night in the dark.
It's true. We got swords here.
Yeah, I've seen yours. You have like a really big one, right?
Yeah. So if someone comes in, I have room for activities. I will just let them get into the apartment, and then the door will open, and I'll be like, "Wrong apartment, motherfucker," and it'll be over for them, dude. I'm like the dude in Texas who's like, God, I want to witness a robbery so I can shoot. Like I'm literally like, I hope robbers don't come here. I have millions of dollars in my fucking shit, just trying to get them to come here.
Dude, I did a show at like a libertarian group.
Yeah.
And they invited us down, and like it was like really fun. Like I had a great time. It was a great crowd, but like it was just so weird to see just like we're at a comedy show. It's like there's no need for 8 guys to be open carrying in this amongst their friends. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, what a fucking strange, like what, like, and like I'm talking about like not just on the hip, like thigh holsters and shit.
Hell yeah.
Dude.
With like sights on a 9. I'm like, what are we doing, guys?
Dude, libertarians wild out.
Yeah, like they're just into it. They're just like, yeah, we're itching. Like it's just like we're in New Hampshire. Like,
dude, I like when they dual wield. Have you seen that? When they've got both, they've got 2 pistols.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
like,
next to
why?
each other. Yeah.
Were they gonna like Laura Croft it?
It's faster than reloading. What are you talking about?
Oh, so you think they have this? There's no way you don't have you have the self-control to pull out a pistol, dump the mag, and then pull out the next one. You pull out both at once and you scream while shooting them both, dude. You know you do.
That is
It's so cool. Just when I said it, I was like, fuck yeah.
Again, libertarians are always right.
They're not always right. Have you ever seen the clip of there's like a libertarian conference and they're having a debate between all the libertarians?
I think Gary Johnson's the one, the voice of reason.
Gary Johnson is the voice. There's just never a good sign of Gary Johnson's the voice of reason. But they're like, do you think you should have a test to get your driver's license? And Gary Johnson's like, I think you should demonstrate some ability to drive a car. And they start booing him.
Yeah, I have seen
And then
that.
some long-haired dude's like, no tests, everybody drives. And all the libertarians are like, woo, like dancing and shit. So wild.
Why is that wild? You bought into the car insurance scams of the government. They're just stealing money from you.
I think you should.
What's
I'm
a
with
weird,
Gary.
I'll just say this. It's a weird thing. We have it's the easiest to get a driver's license here than any other Western country, right?
It's
pretty easy.
I don't think we have considering how much we drive, I don't think it's like significantly more like bad drivers than in Europe, is it?
I think we just have established road rules that are pretty good as other crazier countries where they're just like, I don't know, go for it.
Dude, in in some countries, you ever been to like a country where like people get mad if you wait for a red light?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Bali, like you get honked at. Like they're just like, "What are you doing, asshole?" Like I'm like, "What do you mean? This is a red light." And you're like, "Go." Like,
that's so funny.
Like I don't have a license and I'm driving here. This is probably not a good idea.
It's
like
a suggestion.
Yeah.
The rules are a suggestion.
Adapting from driving in Utah to here, because I had a car for a little bit when I moved here, was really weird. I got pulled over for being on my phone a lot. Where it's like in Utah, you're just on your phone going 100 miles an hour down the freeway. No, it's
because
so
there's no
empty.
people, right?
It's empty. There's nothing. But I would look down on my phone. I think I was talking on my phone is what it was. And these cops got really pissed at me. And I'm like, whoa, what's wrong? Like, I'm just talking. And they're like, you cannot do that here. I hit so many red light cameras here. And it's just absolutely...
I knew a guy from New Orleans who got stopped by the cops for just drinking in public. And they took his ID, and he didn't know why. So he finished the beer he was drinking and opened another one.
Yeah, that's normal there.
The cop was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "What? I assume you guys are just checking me because I look like a guy." They're like, "No, we're giving you an open container summons." He's like, "What is that?"
Dude, what a fucking baller. Just open. What's up? What are you guys up to?
Yeah. Like, just,
No, but yeah, driving here is it's crazier. I feel like it's a lot. It is kind
I've
of.
never got to drive on like a really good open road like that in my whole life.
Dude, in Utah, we have speed limit 85 miles an hour highways, and it's literally a suggestion.
No, people will honk at you if you're going like 90.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Dude. It's literally as fast as your car goes. That's how fast you go on those highways, dude. It rules.
But then here, people are driving also fast, but you kind of it's a lot of red lights. Sometimes are a suggestion depending on the neighborhood and.
Dude, I love when
I
the
don't know.
Uber driver goes, "You want to go fast?" They always just say, "Do you want to go fast?" That's what they say to me anyway, and I'm like, "Yes."
They
go.
know you don't care about laws.
Yeah. They like kind of like they look at me and they go, "I think this is one I can ask."
Yeah.
And I say, "Yeah," and then they just fucking smoke through those red lights, dude.
I don't get that, but I'll look at an Uber driver sometimes be late and be like, yo, if I know you want to get me out of here. Like, if you want to go really fast, I don't give a fuck. Like, I will give you, I'll give you more stars. It'll be like GTA. Like, that's how you're earning your stars. Like, I don't care at all.
That's the thing. Just like I'm running a little late. Can we what do you $5?
Well,
Good,
some of them will be like, no,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
like other guys would be like, okay, and then they're just like, I'm like, nice. This is so much better.
You can usually tell by the kind of car they're in. Like if someone picks you up in a WRX, I'm just like, let it go. Let it go, bud. Let's get it crazy. But when they pick you up in like the fucking SUV, those are the worst guys. They're so slow.
Well, they got an SUV in New York. What are you
I
gonna
know,
do? It's
dude.
about
It's like, what are we doing here?
They're just bringing people to the airport.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Dude, I hate going slow, especially in New York because I get car sick because you have to stop so much. So
Okay.
the faster they go, the faster I get out.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I hate it. It's brutal.
well, when are we gonna have Uber motorcycles?
Dude, sidecar?
No, just I want
Dude,
to.
they have that in Asia, right?
Do they?
Yeah, where
Where you just
can
hop
get
on the back?
You hop on the back, yeah.
No.
Like certain countries have that. Yeah.
Dude, hell yeah. Just nuts to butts
think-
with a strange Uber driver.
Dude, it's so weird to do that. Like, yeah, just like I haven't been on the back of like a motorcycle since I was a literal child, and somebody was like my mom was banging some dude who had a motorcycle. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Hell
It's
yeah.
like the only time I've ever been. I would never do that. Like I don't even like having a chick on the back. Like I've driven motorcycles. I was like, I don't want. Just this is awkward with you hugging me. Like I feel like we're both gonna die.
Yeah.
Like,
It
right?
is terrible. I don't like having people on the bike with me ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hate it.
I've done both pretty recently. My buddy had like a little Honda CT100,
Yeah.
and so he's like 200 pounds, and I'm like 200 pounds, and we're like, let's see if it'll carry both of us. And we're driving. He bought it in the middle of like December, so we're in the middle of Utah winter, driving down State Street, all 400 pounds of us on this tiny little. Like a motorcycle you'd see in India, just bzzz,
Oh, really?
call it. People are honking at us, like loving it, and then also
Nice.
motorcycles are chick magnets. That's fun. You don't like people in the back?
No, it bothers me. I'm also
What?
afraid of anytime I'm on the road. I'm like I'm like very like defensive and not stressed, but it's just like not as fun. I like dirt bikes and stuff. Riding on the road on a bike is like
No,
I don't
it's-
own one because I could and I don't because I'm like it would,
You'll die.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
eventually you will wreck. My brother broke his femur. My other brother broke his back.
I sold mine because old ladies pulling out in front of me who are like making eye contact with me but don't see me.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, I can't do this. It is safer. I feel like a dirt bike. You'll like snap your ankles more, but you won't die.
Yeah, it's just like I'd rather just ride for fun out in the middle of nowhere
Doing
than like
jumps and
then die because someone didn't like was looking at their iPod. That shit just stresses me out.
They say like there's like a weird thing with like vision where like like a lot of people. You ever see that thing, the invisible gorilla? There's like a video. You know the video I'm talking about? So it's like the same guy who did that study is like most people who hit a motorcyclist they just say, oh, I just didn't see him because they're just looking for cars. Your brain is programmed to look for cars. Same with like bicycles. Like, you know, that's why
Yeah.
people hit them.
Yeah, definitely. The thing about a bike that I like, especially here in New York, is I can just I have more options to avoid. I don't have to follow the rules. I actually think a bike is the fastest thing to get around in this
Yeah,
town.
that's how I got here. Yeah, it's like great. Yeah, it's fucking.
You just cruise. You know, they do have a thing where you can rent mopeds. I see the mopeds around.
Rebel.
I saw someone wreck one.
Really?
It ruled. He had his girl on the back.
Oh shit,
Dude. And so he didn't wreck it real hard. What he did was he tried to blast through the light at the last second, and then a car stopped in front of him to like let someone out, and he weaved to miss that car. And you know how now we have like the restaurants on the side of the street?
So there's
and he full on slammed into the wood making of the restaurant, and him and his girl went face first into it.
Were
It
the
wasn't
people
that
eating?
fast. Yes. People were eating in it, and he fucking slammed, and I was losing it laughing, dude.
fucking funny.
They were fine. They were just embarrassed.
I wrecked a Vespa at like 5:30 in the morning, drunk, like
Damn.
I don't know, maybe 8 years ago. It was right after Hurricane Sandy, right? And I had been neglecting my breaks. I worked 6 days a week as a cook. And
It's a Vespa too.
yeah.
You're not gonna put money into that.
Yeah,
just ride it-
the brakes were totally like the brakes were the thing that I was like, I really have to take the time to go fix these brakes, and I just hadn't. I was drunk, and I was looking at my gas gauge. Like, did you guys live here after Hurricane Sandy?
No.
we just moved here.
So it's like there was the gas line. So now it's 5:30. I'm hammered. I got to go work another shift in a kitchen the next day, and I'm like, fuck, I got to wait 2 hours on a goddamn gas line tomorrow. Fuck this.
There's gas lines.
There was gas lines after Hurricane Sandy. Like, you had to wait. I got the gas that had been in that tank because I posted on Facebook, I will pay anybody $50 if they bring me a gallon of gas for my scooter. And my buddy Max was like, he's like an Orthodox Jewish guy, so he's just like a crazy, like, he'll prep, like he's like a
doomsday prepper.
Like the same way he'll go to Costco is like he saw that he was worried about gas, and he shows up at my house and his trunk was just filled with gas cans.
Fucking Orthodox Jews, man. They are wild.
Yeah. So he filled my tank up, but like, so I'm just like, fuck, I'm gonna have to wait on a fucking gas line tomorrow because it was Shabbos, and I was just like, I was like, God damn it, I was like, oh shit, the light, and I went to hit the brakes and they just didn't catch, and I was like, fuck, and I hit the car in front of me, flew like. I like tried to swerve, but I like just hit the corner of the bumper, flew over it, landed on like the curb on Ocean Parkway, and I roll over and I'm checking my ribs, and this black guy in a car got out of the car behind me and walked over and goes, "Ah, man, you split your pants."
Not helpful.
Yeah, not at all, dude. Fuck it. And so the guy in front of the car, he's like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "I think I'm fine." And he goes, "Look, my car isn't damaged. I could just go." And I go to get on the scooter, and the thing is like this. He's like, "You're not gonna ride that home, are you?" And I was like, "No." And then I totally rode it home, and everybody's looking at me because I'm literally like the handlebars are so bent that I have to hold it like this,
I've ridden that like that
dude.
before.
And my pants were split from my fucking crotch to my ankle. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Dude.
it was just like held, like the cup was held. And I'm like, why is everybody looking at me? And then I get home and I pull into my driveway and I look down and I'm like, also my boxers were split and my balls were just out.
So you were just riding a sideways
I was just-
handlebar Vespa with your nuts out.
Yeah, with my nuts out for fucking 3 miles.
Dude,
Just
looks about right.
Another day in New York. I feel like I hate when people get mad at like bicyclists or like scooters or motorcycles. It's just like they can't do any real damage. So when
Yeah.
they blow through like stop signs and stuff, they're taking their own life into their hands.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah,
Like
it's a
that's
little
why they
different.
do that. It doesn't piss me off.
As much.
Whereas if a car blows through a red light, it's like you might kill a bunch of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
So
dude, quite a few.
like I don't know. Just let them do that. Who cares?
Well, isn't like Portland for bicycles aren't like red lights considered stop signs? Like you're allowed to.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's a better way to encourage people to bike.
That's like the unspoken rule for all bikes, but some people get weird about it.
Well, no. Also, like I got a ticket for
Really?
gunning. I've gotten 2 in my life
No
in New
way.
York.
That
Yeah.
sketches me out. I got to know that now because
Dude.
I will
On a
just
bicycle?
like city bike it through.
Just like kind of look around. Most cops don't care. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
The first time I ever got one, I got it because I just went through a light. Because here's what happened: I didn't go through a light at one point, and the cops stopped me and searched me and said, "We thought it was weird that you didn't go through that light." And I go,
What?
I go, "It's illegal to go through a light on a bicycle." And they go, "Yeah, but nobody pays attention to that." And they searched me, and I was like, so like a couple of weeks later, I just like get to this light, and I'm just like, "Oh fuck it, these cops are here, but whatever." And then I go, and they go, "Yeah, you burned a light right in front of us. It's rude. And I was just like, you guys need some sort of messaging on this. Like, and then like recently, I think they're just giving out. Be careful because like they're just giving out tickets because there's so little revenue in the city.
Oh, dude, New York's finest, baby. They'll do
Yeah.
anything to take us down right now.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers. I've been seeing them post because they can't wear plain clothes at the subway anymore. So now they just got cop guards at the fucking turnstiles, and I'm trying to fucking steal subway rides, and I'm always mad now. These motherfuckers making me use my Metro card. This thing is for emergencies only. You know? I'm trying to jump the turnstile. Dude, it sucks so bad because I'm sitting there like a dumbass trying to get money on my Metro card so the police don't arrest me. Some badass, slick dude, homeless dude
pull it
comes
back.
and he does the fucking the what's it called? The finesse?
Yeah.
I think that's the finesse is where
Where
they pull it down. They don't hop. They don't go under.
They pull it barely enough right
And
before it
slide
clicks,
in, yeah.
slide their little hips in, and then they go through, and it looks like they paid. It's the most it's a magic trick.
Yeah. You got to be a certain type of lanky to pull that
I
off.
tried it literally at a place where it was like empty in Brooklyn at like fucking I don't even know what
You were
point.
practicing.
Yeah, I was trying to practice it, dude, and I got stuck. And I had to like wiggle my fat ass
That's
hips out,
so
and I was like,
funny.
dude, I've got too much donk.
You need to go to like every now and then they'll work on a subway. They'll close down a station.
Yeah.
You need to go to a closed station and just practice over and over and
listening
over.
to Eye of the Tiger, trying to learn.
Or maybe there's like a subway museum where they have the turnstile. Like, can I just use
There is a
this?
subway museum in downtown Brooklyn.
There, do they
Whoa.
have turnstile?
Transit
little
museum.
things?
They have a bunch of different turnstiles.
That's where you go practice. Go hit up the gym. Get good.
Dude. Yeah, I know. You know what I hate too is when they don't even they just have the big cage you have to walk through. That shit always gives me anxiety. Like I'm gonna get stuck in it.
Oh yeah, dude. There used to be like all these like subways. People were just so lazy. Like back in the day, there were so many like when I was a kid. So 9th Street in Brooklyn, if you went downstairs, where now there's a turnstile to get in, but there used to just be like just to come out those big metal ones.
Yeah.
But you could hop one gate. And then the inside gate was always unlocked. So when I was like a kid, I used to just jump that one gate and just like walk right onto the platform every single time. On 7th Avenue in Brooklyn, just the middle gate, like MTA workers were like, nobody's checking this, and they just like leave it unlocked so they wouldn't have to carry keys.
Nice.
So there was like a bunch of just gates randomly that like if you knew this gate is always open, you can get into that train station. Like it was pretty dope.
Dude, that does rule. I like when a guy just like holds open the emergency exit.
Mm-hmm.
And,
you just slide
and
in
you
that
just
way.
go in. Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, for anyone listening who thinks it's bad to steal from the MTA,
It's totally not. They're
no,
terrible.
the
Awful organization.
The city funnels so much money out of the MTA, and they don't put anything back into the subways. So
It's infuriating whenever you see like a beautification project that costs millions of dollars, and then fucking they're just like, oh yeah, we need more money for the signal boxes. Like, why did you build that fancy staircase? Like, signal boxes are really important to trains. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
they're still running off like 1920s
Yeah.
technology. They don't have computers or anything.
yeah, they're like analog boxes, like old, like
the
it's like
fuses.
it's like,
and
like pocket watches. Is running the largest transit system in the country.
It is fucking wild,
Yeah.
dude. I swear to God, once I saw a steam train go by, I was like, what is this? Dude, you know what I want to do? You grew up here. Have you ever done this? Have you ever, when the train goes by with the working, like the open cars, like
Oh yeah.
that just like has material to work on the track? Have you ever jumped in just to see what would
I
happen?
have not. I'll tell you this though. I did once pull a guy out from in between the dumpster train and the platform who was getting dragged because there's like way more space.
Whoa!
It was like a weird thing. This
he got caught.
dude, this drunk asshole was across the platform from me. He was at West 4th Street, and he goes, "Yo, 2 horns, 2 horns." He's throwing up the metal sign.
Yeah.
And he was just hammered. And my buddy Mario goes, "Yeah, 2 horns, motherfucker." And this guy goes, "What?" And he starts walking. He jumps down and starts walking across West 4th Street, 2 sets of tracks. Hops up. He needs help hopping up to get into our face. So we pull him up as this work train's coming in. So we pull him up. He starts yelling, and as he's yelling at me and my buddy Mario, he drops his beer and it rolls off as the train's starting to pull out. And my buddy Mario goes, "Your beer, you idiot! You dropped it." He goes to get his beer and falls in between the trains.
No.
Tell me how. I just pull him out. He still has the beer in his hand. I pull him out, and he just looks at us and goes, "Ugh," and just walks away.
Dude.
No thank you, nothing. That guy was meant to be a space case. You know what that is? That's where the guys get
Yeah.
severed, and they're still alive for a while, and they're just like, So we're gonna have to eventually move this train.
Yeah, dude, that shit is
apparently
crazy.
like 12 a year happen or something.
I think it's more than that.
Yeah, it's like
I think that's what we know about. I was watching some YouTube thing about how they were just like, they have special codes. They don't even call it. They're like, yeah, I remember my first 2418, and it's so like some of them take it way normal. Like I know guys who worked 30 years, never hit anybody, and I hit 3 guys last week, and it's just like, damn, what?
Dude, fuck.
Like,
well, people will jump in front of trains. Like that's just it.
Yeah, that's the most fuck. Jump off a building. We're in New York, dude.
Yeah, stop making everybody late.
That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna kill yourself, like whatever. But we have bridges. We
Yeah.
have so many options, dude.
So many
no,
bridges.
no way. If you're
Dude,
gonna,
a bridge is making nobody late.
Literally, go to Little Italy or Chinatown and just start a fight and get killed by the mob.
Yeah, just punch somebody.
no,
Dude,
these are all bad. Do not kill
Pull
yourself.
your wallet out real fast in front of a cop.
Dude,
Just
there you
anything.
go.
Oh, this is what I'm gonna say. Don't kill yourself unless you're gonna send a political message
Oh.
and write a manifesto.
No driver's licenses.
I'm not saying you shouldn't kill yourself, but if you're gonna, just don't be a dick about it.
Don't
Yeah.
shoot, you don't go pussy route and shoot up a school and be like, be cool.
Yeah.
To go against the evil corporations, the government. Oh, should we bleep this? I don't know. This is too far.
No.
We said a lot of.
Listen, the official stance of Cowboy Boys podcast is don't kill yourself, but also don't be a dick.
There you go.
There it is. The official stance of Cowboy Boys podcast is also to support us on patreon.com/cowboyboys. Do
Oh,
that,
yeah?
everybody. Yeah, and leave us reviews. Chris, where can people find you?
At Chris from BKLYN on Twitter. That's my main one. And then High Society Radio on Instagram. And yeah, go check out Notes of a Goon and High Society Radio.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Nice.
They're both great. I've been on one of them.
Yeah.
Not the other for some reason. That's okay, though.
It's just me talking.
It's just
and
you
occasionally I actually do the newest episode that just came out. I interviewed my buddy who's been a graffiti writer for 20 years. So
Oh,
I'm
fuck
doing stuff like that. One of them I've only done 2 interviews for the show. We've done like 15 episodes, but it's like my buddy, his job was that he kidnapped kids and brought them to boot camp. So I talked to him and he told a bunch of stories about that. That was a couple weeks back.
Nice.
So I'm trying to do like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it's not
Hell
like
yeah.
a straight
Yeah.
comedy podcast.
Real shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Mac, anything you want to add?
No, just put me in your manifesto if you write one.
There you heard it from Mac. He wants to be in a manifesto. Twitch.tv/Shadozer. You guys know the drill. Dude, the shirts are done being sold when they hear this, right?
Yeah, probably.
Hey, if you bought a shirt, thank you so much.
We'll sell some more in the future.
Hell yeah, we absolutely will. All right, everyone. Love you guys. Ye fucking haw.
Yeehaw.